A grand jury indicted 11 so-called fake electors from Arizona last month. 3 of the defendants are Arizona delegates to the Republican National Convention next week. They are Nancy Cottle and state senators Jake Hoffman from Queen Creek and Anthony Kern from Glendale. The 3 Republicans are accused of trying to overturn Arizona's 2020 election results in favor of Donald Trump, who lost the state by over 10,000 votes. During their court appearances last month, Cottle, Kern, and Hoffman all pleaded not guilty. As part of their pretrial release agreement, the defendants were required to ask the court's permission to travel out of state. The judge overseeing the cases granted them that permission, meaning they can travel to Milwaukee and help officially make Donald Trump the GOP's 2024 presidential nominee. Arizona is not the only state sending fake electors to the Republican convention next week. 6 other states are also sending delegates accused of trying to upend the last presidential election. In the newsroom, Dennis Welch, Arizona's Family.
Dennis, thanks very much. Well, Dennis is heading to Milwaukee himself to bring us complete coverage of the Republican National Convention. He'll have live reports beginning Monday, and then he'll be in Chicago for the Democratic National Convention in August.